My name is Cynthia. I'm going to give you my top 10 tips today concerning parrots breeding certain species. I have done some breeding in the past, and this is not going to be a very long video, but I'm going to go over a couple of them and give you some warnings about what to look for and what to avoid. One of the smaller ones, cockatiels, are one of the easiest ones to get started with. And if you can, I would start out with small parrots before you get into larger breeding. They're very easy, the cockatiels, to breed. They're loving, they're tame, and you get more than one egg out of them too, usually about 3, 4, maybe even 5. I've had even more than that. They're easy to hand feed, they're easy to handle on a regular basis, and cockatiels are a real good way to start out breeding. Sorry about the parrot noise in the background. Lovebirds are the same way. Parrots are the same way. I did parrots. Parrots are almost like bees. They're so small when they're born, and they're hard to hand feed, but I did hand feed them, and they're wonderful little parrots. So start out with little parrots, and there's a whole video about what you need to getting started in breeding, but this is just about different species and what to do. Now, getting up the line, you might want to get into a little larger birds like Amazons. Amazons are another ones that are easy to breed. You got to be careful with them because they are seasonal birds. Usually in the springtime, you can't handle your parrot. At least the males, you can't handle them at all because they get sexual, and that would be the time that you're just going to start breeding them. In my other video, talk about how you will lose your pet, most likely, if you start breeding them. You're not going to, after they stop breeding, it's hard to separate them because they bond for life with the other parrot, and you're no longer their significant other when they have a parrot around them. Now, sometimes, right away, they don't like the other one, so you know they're not going to get along, and so you might keep your pet. But most of the time, they bond with that person, that pet, and you will not get your parrot, your tame parrot, back anymore. Another bird to breed that's very easy are African greys. I bred my African greys. They're very easy to breed, and you don't need a really big cage to have it for breeding for them. And they turned out the most wonderful parrots, tame, and went to loving homes. I still hear back from people about them, how much they love those parrots. So those are really easy to breed. Now get into larger birds like macaws. I never bred a macaw, and so I can't really give you a whole lot of advice on that. And I think you're going to need a really big nest box for that. Now cockatoos, this is the thing about cockatoos. I love cockatoos. I had cockatoos, and I still have cockatoos. But if you breed them, you got to know what you're doing because they get aggressive. The males get aggressive with the females, and they can kill the females if you do not have a large enough nest box for them. And they need a specific kind, one that you should only buy for cockatoos. Don't use a regular one because that female needs a way to get out of that nest box when that male gets aggressive. I personally stayed away from breeding cockatoos because I would not want to have that happen, that kill that other parrot, and they do that, and it's known very easily. And I have one right now that I'd love to put him into a breeding program with somebody else, but I've already been told he's too aggressive and he probably would hurt the female, so you got to be careful with cockatoos. Although I love them dearly, and when they're babies, they're just the most wonderful thing you'll ever have. But stay away from them unless you know what you're doing with them. Now you're going to need finches. Are real easy to breed. Just put them in a nice large cage, and they'll do it on their own with a little nest box. And the nest box, you can do it a couple ways. You can build them yourself, or you can buy them in stores. You can find them on the internet too. So those are just what I wanted to talk to you about. If you got any good ideas out of this, give me a thumbs up. subscribe to my channel. I try to download every Monday, so come back and visit with me, okay? Bye now.